So I will only come in at the end of the webinar. So first, we're going to start. They will introduce themselves. If I introduce myself, then we'll look at, you know, how to apply for scholarship and admission in general. Like, how do you apply it? When do you apply it? And where to apply to? And also, what are the requirements? And which of this scholarship can you, you know, apply for? So as some of you may know, I am by name Egyptu. I'm currently in the UK. I'm in the final stage of my PhD. So I will stop sharing. So please, if you try to mute yourself because of background noise, at the end of the section, you can either type your question in the chat box, or you can raise your hand and we'll give you the mic. You ask your question if you have question or any questions. So I will pass the mic to uh, Samuel and Apaji to introduce themselves. Thank you.
Um, Thank you very much, Dr. Juptil. Congratulations, by the way. My name is Alfred Navuki Apaji. I'm a first year PhD student at the University at Albany, State University of New York. It's good morning from here. I'm happy to join you today. Thank you.
Hey, hello everyone. I am Samuel Johanna. I'm in my first year in my master's program here in Germany. I'm glad to be here and see how we can be able to help in any way possible. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So I think Apaji will start. He will give us like general overview of what scholarship. I think I will give him 20 minutes to talk through. Samuel will also take 20 minutes. Then maybe we take 20 minutes for questions and answer, or maybe beyond that, because I know there are a lot of people that will have questions. So Apaji will talk about talk on actually scholarship that has to do with scholarship in general, and also give example for specific scholarship like Erasmus Mundus scholarship, because he's their this thing alumni. He's one of the uh winners of Erasmus Mundus. That's 2 years back. And he also talk about general application related to USA for those of us that are interested in going to US. He will give the breakdown. And then after that, Samuel will talk about scholarship in Europe in general, including UK, and also maybe he will touch like some Asian country, if possible, if times allow us. So Apaji, please, the floor is open for you. The requirement, please, is very, very important. Like what I've shown, talk about the requirement, talk us through the requirement, what and different types of scholarship that we have. Try to talk us through all this.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope that I'm being heard. So, in general, today we want to talk about scholarships, scholarship applications. It's actually a very long road, but it's rewarding. So, why do you want to do a scholarship? Why do you want to study for a master's? Generally, our people think that we want to go to school just because we want to get certificates or want to get accolades. But if you want to study abroad, your why has to be very strong. Some people will tell you, "Oh, I just want to move out of the country." I'm making these things. I'm saying these things because I know that if you come into a competitive way, you're going to succeed. So by merely thinking that I just want to come abroad, I don't really want to come to study, I just want to japa, it's going to be difficult for you to move, especially through the study route. So studying abroad gives you access to globally ranked universities. It gives you broad academic opportunities, and You know, the cultural diversity and the international connections, and there's strong research and innovation. So these are some of the reasons why I always implore people to apply for scholarships. Now, generally speaking, there are different types of scholarships. And I see a lot of people make these mistakes, and it is important to also clarify. Now, there are academic scholarships. These scholarships are basically on your academic strength and merit. So scholarships like Commonwealth, scholarship like Fulbright in the United States, Commonwealth scholarship in the UK. I'm an alumni of the Commonwealth scholarship. Erasmus Mundus in Europe is another example of a merit-based scholarship. And when we say merit-based, it means that you need to have strong academic qualifications, evidenced by a first class, second class, a very high second class upper in the 4 point. You need to have quality research profile, evidenced by probably publications, so writing samples, and so on. So these are merit-based scholarships. Another type of scholarship is the need-based scholarship. So probably you are from a low and medium income country, or you're from a low income family, or you are from a what you call minority community or undeserved communities. So these are need-based. They want to see where you're coming from so that they can include you. Probably you're the first person from your family to attend college. So these are scholarships that are called need-based scholarship. Then we have university-specific scholarships. So if you look, especially in the US and the UK, you find a lot of universities have their internal scholarships. An example of that scholarship is the Allen and Nesta Scholarship in the UK. I think it's by, I've forgotten the specific university. Another university specific scholarship is the Think Big Scholarship from University of Bristol in the UK. So I actually also won that scholarship in 2022, but because it was not fully funded, the tuition was waived and they had £3,000 bursary. So I opted for the Commonwealth. So university specific scholarships. And then we have government funded scholarships. That's where you have like the PTDF in Nigeria is a government funded scholarship. The TED Fund in Nigeria is another government funded scholarship. The NITDA from Nigeria is another government funded scholarship. And a host of others like Fulbright in the United States and Hobart Humphrey, etc. Now we have private foundation scholarships too. There are private bodies and foundations that sponsor scholarship, like the Shell postgraduate scholarship, the Total postgraduate scholarship in France. So these are foundation or institution specific scholarships. Then there are some departments and programs that have specific scholarships. For instance, in my present scholarship in the United States is a department-specific scholarship, meaning that the department is sponsoring my studies, my doctoral studies, through teaching assistantships. So most of what you get in the United States is either you're a teaching assistantship, a graduate assistantship, or you are a research assistantship, as the case may be. So generally, there are eligibility criteria. I know I'm being a bit fast because we don't have time and we want to have a lot of time for the question and answer. So most of your questions are going to be addressed. I hope so. So there are general eligibility criteria, but we have to also note that these eligibility criteria will depend on the type of scholarship that you are looking for. So the reason why we've stated that these different types of scholarship is because you want to know where you stand, right? If you don't have a strong academic qualification, probably you don't have a first class or a strong 2-1, maybe you have a 2-2, and you are from a low income family, you're going to look towards a need-based scholarship and make a case for yourself. Oh, I'm from a low-income family. My total household income is below $50,000 per annum. I have worked through my years to sponsor myself in the university and this and that. It's about making a case for yourself. So, but these are general eligibility criteria. Number one is academic achievement, and that's why we always advise people that are currently studying to make the best of what they can do. Graduate with the highest grades that you can. School no be scam. First class is not me, I don't want first class. First class don't used to get job. First class don't used to do this. Try your best possible to graduate with the first class. But also note that the first class is not an automatic qualification, it's not an automatic ticket to a scholarship. You have to defend it. And that's why you have a lot of 2-1s, even getting international scholarships before first class. So, but it's important. The first class opens the door for you. It now depends on how you want to get into that door. Then we have financial need, proof of income, family background. And this is important because some scholarships are need-based. You cannot be from Otedola's family and say you're going to apply for Commonwealth. They're not going to give you. Because one of the criteria is that you have to be from a low and medium family in a low and medium income country. And so you have to make a case for that. Another criteria is extracurricular involvement and leadership skills. So a lot of us during university days, we don't want to involve in any leadership positions or in any leadership activities. We just want to read our books and just pass. No, international scholarships are looking as at you as a whole package. They want to see your leadership skills. Have you been involved in SUG? Even at the departmental level, have you been involved in the faculty level? Have you been involved? What have you done? It's not about the position that you've held, but it's about those activities that you're able to carry out. Have you organized tutorials for students to help them in difficult courses, especially first year students, second year students? Have you organized quizzes, debates? Have you even organized rallies, outreaches, campaigns? So if you are not doing this right now as a university student, NYC is another opportunity to do that. You have the CDS. I was the president of Environmental Conservative Club during my NYSC, and we did a lot of projects, and that helped me in my application when I was applying for the Commonwealth Scholarship. So leadership and extracurricular involvement. Are you playing football? Are you the football captain of your school, of your department? Have you inspired something? Like I said, it's not necessarily about the position, but the ability to influence others towards success. Right. Another advantage is your personal background. Are you from an underrepresented community? It's another eligibility criteria, especially for scholarships that are need-based, that want to see underrepresented or minority communities represented. So another eligibility criteria is a field of study. There are certain scholarships that are specific to people who did data science or who are interested in doing data science. There are also other scholarships who are specific for people who want to study environmental engineering, mathematics, statistics. Some scholarships are specific for STEM. Some can involve the social sciences and humanities. So you have to understand all these basics to be able to scale through. So where do we find scholarships? We talk about scholarships. Some people will tell you, but where do I start? We are talking of a scholarship. Where do I look? And I think it's a genuine question because we live in an information age, and when you don't have access to this information, you're lost. So the simplest place I can always advise people to check is findaphd.com. I think this website, just findaphd.com, join together, no space, findaphd.com in Google and just click. It's going to take you to the page. I think this was shared to me by Dr. Ejuptil when we started connecting, I think far back in 2022. Yeah, so it's one of the most important websites I've come to see, and you get a lot of funded PhD master's projects there. Another place to check is the university financial aid pages. So most, I think almost all universities in the West, whether it's in the US or in the UK, they have financial aid pages on their website. So for instance, if you go to Newcastle University, and then in the official web page, just search financial aid pages. You're going to see the kind of scholarships that they offer. You're going to read the eligibility criteria there. You're going to read how to apply there. So that is another place. You have to connect to people who are doing postgrad studies. Mostly they advertise scholarships opportunities. You can check them on LinkedIn, you can check them on Twitter, you can follow them on their WhatsApp groups. And even on our WhatsApp group, Scholarship Dreamers, we do post scholarship opportunities and the links, and we advise on how to apply and so on. So these are some of the places that you have to look. Sometimes a simple Google search is going to lead you to finding this sites. So a lot of times I see when people say, "Oh, if it is time for Commonwealth, please can you tell me?" Like, you have Google, you have some of us have iPhones and big phones in our hands, and just a simple Google search will have helped. But yeah, information is power. So, what are the things that we need? And I'm saying this because we have people who are currently in their undergrad, or they are finishing their undergrad, or they are doing NYSC, or they have been out of job for a long time. And we also have people who are joining this call for the first time, so they may not actually know the application components. So, for any successful scholarship application, there are certain documents that you need before you can even think about applications. And these are very important because most times people say, I want a scholarship. Can you guide me to get a scholarship? And what we always tell people, I remember having this conversation with Dr. Egyptian. Oh, let us we don't give scholarship because we are not funding bodies. What we do is connect you with opportunities free of charge and also review your document. But what do you have? Do you have this document? Do you have this document? They say, oh, I don't have any of these. I don't know. How should I go about it? So I think it's important to have a grasp of this. The first thing is your academic transcripts and certificates. It's important. And this I'm speaking to mostly Nigerian graduates. A lot of us don't want to go back to our university and collect our certificate. Once we get our statement of results, we think we are home and dry. Now, your statement of result, by its name, is a statement of result. It means that it expires in certain situations and over certain time. Meaning that once your school does a convocation, your statement of result will not be accepted by most international organizations. Once your certificate crosses certain years, you have a statement of result for 5 years. Come on. A lot of people will not pay attention to you. Some schools will tell you they don't accept it. So please, your academic certificate, not statement of result. If you're just graduating now and you have a statement of result, that's fine because the graduation year is on your statement of result. But when it's like 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, it's a red flag. So get your certificates, get your academic transcripts. Academic transcripts can be sketchy, especially in Nigeria. And I'm speaking more to Nigeria because I understand the politics and the kind of things that happen, especially when we're trying to assess transcripts. Some schools will tell you they do not give students transcripts. Some schools will tell you they can only send it directly to the institution that requested it. And because for each sending the request, money for that. So I think that people have found a way around that. There are schools, kudos to them, that give transcripts directly to students and they call it student copy. And I think that if universities in Nigeria can do this, all of them can do this, it's gonna be good because transcript is one of the problems. But you can always, ask people who have gone around this and find out what they are doing to actually get these transcripts. So for me, I think I had to contact a professor who helped me in my school, and I got my own transcripts. So,
Sorry,
yeah,
Scholar Apaji, you have
yep.
4 minutes because, in fact, you've even exhausted your time. I just
Um,
added another 5 minutes for you. So try to list this document and
okay,
let's go to what's his name,
okay,
Scholar. Yeah, because even though you've already said most of the things, I think he will have little to say, but just try to finish by 2:30.
okay. So yeah, academic transcripts, standardized tests. Most scholarships, especially in the UK, in the US, will require an SAT, GRE, English tests like TOEFL, IELTS, with letters of recommendation. So you need to have good relationship with your lecturers, so that you can ask them for letters of recommendations at any time. Personal statements and essays. This we have continued to talk about in our group. Um, you need to have an academic CV. An academic CV is quite different from a job CV, and there's a way. Like in academia, there's a way we do everything. There's a way we speak, there's a way we write, and you have to conform to that. So there are also essays, and these essays are generally about exposing something or defending a position. So you have to answer to the prompts. So timelines and deadlines. Always start early. In the US, the key periods are fall. Fall is from August to November. Spring is from January to March. So these are um, times in the US where sessions begin. So if you are targeting fall, that is, if you're targeting the fall, and honestly, the fall session has more funding opportunities because it is the regular start time in the US. So for fall, if you're targeting fall, you have to start right now. You're already late if you're targeting fall. Fall is August. So if you're targeting to come to the US by August, you're already late now if you have not done your application. That means you have to target spring, which is January and March. So the key thing here is to start early. Now, common mistakes I've seen people make is that they miss deadlines. You are not disciplined, you don't have a strict deadlines, you ignore small and local scholarships. A lot of people want World, they want Chevening, they want PTDF, but one disadvantage with those type of scholarships is that they're very competitive. You have some of the best applying for that scholarship. And scholarship application is a strategy. It's a numbers game. I'm not saying don't apply for those scholarships, but also look at university specific scholarships. Some of them are fully funded. They are fully funded like the popular ones, but you ignore them because you think, oh, this scholarship is small. It's not that popular. So I think that I will have to stop here. But one thing I have to mention before I finish is please and please, a basic tenet in scholarship application is how to communicate. And the way to communicate majorly at this point is by writing emails. You have to know how to write emails. Email etiquette is very important. That is a, a gateway to getting scholarship, because when you apply for scholarships in the US, you are trying to communicate. You're trying to tell the professor that I am interested in your research, and your research area aligns with my interest, and I want to come work with you. So if you are interested, please let's have a chat. So you have to know how to communicate. Thank you very much, and we'll welcome your questions after Samuel finishes his
Thank you.
presentation.
Thank you so much, Scholar Apaji. Thank you so very much. So I will pass the mic to Samuel, Scholar Samuel. So, and I hope you are writing down your questions. Please try and write down all the questions you have. We'll try to answer your questions as many as we can. So, Samuel will actually, because most of the, I think, regarding documents, Samuel, I think Apogee has already finished that. So, I will allow Samuel to go through, give us like one example, especially like PTDF scholarship, because he's a beneficiary of PTDF and that scholarship as well. So, and PTDF scholarship is currently open for those of you that are interested. So, please, he will like give us like go through the required document and how, if possible, mention like how you can write uh your SOP, because the SOP is very, very important in terms of the writing. So yeah.
All right. Hello, everyone. Can everyone hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
thank
guess.
you, Dr. Jiktul and Scholar Apaji for the wonderful presentation. Well, Scholar Apaji have already touched most of the important parts, so I will walk through it. If everyone can see my screen, we are going to concentrate mainly scholarships in the
Babe,
Europe and how to
I think you
explore
should join
some
this
of the
section.
opportunities that are here. Why Europe? I think Scholar Apaji have already dealt with this. We have
Zoom.
world-class education. There are fully funded opportunities that can take care of your tuition, your stipend, your flight, your health insurance,
No,
and
you need an
whatever.
ID and
You don't
pass.
need to move a muscle when it comes to finances. And we see multicultural exposure, travel, you get to meet different people, you network with a lot of people from different
Share it to your group,
backgrounds,
to your
from
class.
different nations.
Hmm?
You have a very strong career prospect. It opens you up to a career opportunity that you will actually love, and it will be nice to explore Europe. But then types of fully funded scholarship, which Apache have also touched many of them. We have the government funded ones, like the DAD, for example. The one I'm a beneficiary of here in Germany. The Erasmus Mundus, the Chevening, the UK, the Commonwealth Shared, which Apogee was a beneficiary. The PTDF, which is based in Nigeria here, I'm also a beneficiary of that. There are university specific, which Apogee have talked about. Some of them are the Oxford, the ETH Zurich Excellence Scholarship in Switzerland, many more. And we have also private organizations like the Gates Cambridge in Cambridge University in England. We have the Mary Scottsdas Career Actions, and many, many more
Sammy,
of them.
twice, except you want to.
But let's be honest and tell ourselves the truth. It's very difficult out there. It's very competitive. Like the DAD, for example, you have 40,000 applications, and at the end of the day, you just have 2,000 winners. And so you see, you have basically only 5% chance of getting the scholarship. You have the Erasmus Mundus, where they only need maybe 20 people, and you see 400 people apply in just one course. And so you have also more like 5% if we're to bring statistics into the whole issue. The Chevening, which is very, very crazy. A lot of people apply, and you just have 1.5% chance of getting selected. You also have the PTDF, which is currently ongoing. I will talk about it a bit later. For example, I think last year it was about 15,000 applications, and at the end of the day, they only picked 250 or thereabouts. And the chances of you getting the scholarship is like 1.6% if we are to bring statistics into the whole scenario. It's very difficult out there. Getting fully funded scholarship is competitive, but it demands a lot of hard work and patience, and you need a strategy. But why not? If others can get it, you also have to believe in yourself. So these numbers are not to scare you, but to kind of get you prepared that, I have a task ahead of me and I have to be resolute, I have to be strong, I have to be patient, I have to be strategic in order to be able to win the scholarship as well. Key eligibility criteria, I won't talk more about it because Apogee have so well dealt with it. The academic excellence, we have strong motivation where you have to clearly state your problems, the goals, the passion. And what I want to add here is that it's not something that you just write in one day, okay? I could remember my first scholarship. I don't know anything about scholarship. I just graduated and I saw scholarship opportunity. I said, I'm gonna apply. And while going through the application, I just saw where to write scholarship essay. I don't know anything about essay. And believe me, writing is a skill. No matter how intelligent you are, you need to learn from someone and you need mentorship, right? So I just kind of cook up one or two things and then write and submit. And at the end of the day, I saw rejection. I was like, ah. And when I look at what I wrote, actually, even me myself, I cannot choose myself if I am among those that the panel that used to choose the scholarship winners. So it's not something you can write. It's something that it takes a lot of time. Sometimes when you're bathing, you are just in the shower and inspiration will come, you just run, write it down. It's not something that you just sit down in one sitting and write it and you're done. No, you need to give it a lot of time. And then you need leadership and extracurricular activities and the language proficiency, the IELTS, the TOEFL. Some schools do accept your English proficiency from your university. For example, in my university, they do give out more like a note to show that yes, throughout your stay in the university, you've been taught in English, and some scholarship bodies do accept that. Also, some scholarship bodies or admissions in Europe do accept either WAEC or NECO when you have C6 or thereabout. Recommendation letters also very, very important. The application guide. Basically, you need to prepare documents, your transcript, you write an essay tailored toward that very particular scholarship. You need to secure recommendation from your professors or your place of work and submit before the deadline. Basically, Apogee have dealt with all of this. What I want to add is when a scholarship body invests in you, just imagine you are paying tuition, they are paying your tuition, your living costs, your flight, everything. That means they are essentially funding your entire future. Therefore, means that if you can ask yourself honestly, does my effort weight equally on this scale, right? You kind of put the investment the scholarship body is making for your own future and then compare it with your application, with your essay, with your SOP. You'll be like, these people are investing thousands, hundreds of thousands of euros or pounds or dollars on my future free of charge. Therefore, I need to show that, yeah, I really, really deserve it. And this is one of my motivation, actually. So whenever I write an SOP or a scholarship essay, I'll look at it as, can someone invest in me by looking at this? And this kind of gives you a lot of motivation to put in more effort, to do more research, and be able to come up with a very strong application. I think this is a point that it can help you a lot while crafting your application. And what you need to do, therefore, you give your 100% effort to see that, yeah, you really deserve what they're giving you. What you don't want to do is to submit a rush application. Look at the investment. So you don't just kind of submit blah, 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 just one day, deadline is tomorrow, you wake up today and you say, I'm going to craft application, blah, 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 and submit. No. And also, don't just copy and paste generic essay you just find online, or maybe ChatGPT copy, paste, and then you submit your essay. Don't do that. And one important thing, don't give up when rejected. I can tell you this because rejection is a sure odds if you are in this journey. Believe me, because you will see a lot of them. And one important thing you have to keep in mind is that don't give up. Don't give up at all. So when you see the rejection, go back to your application, check what you have done wrong, see how you can improve. And most of these scholarships, their essays and their SOP are just the same every year. So you begin to prepare, you begin to improve your essay, improve your SOP against next year. So that's why I say it takes time. You are building it up. And when you see rejection again, don't give up. Never give up. And one day, one time, you'll see that you've achieved something. And lastly, I want to talk about PTDF, which is currently ongoing. I am a beneficiary. And I want to give you a simple blueprint on how to win a PTDF scholarship. First and foremost, there's a statement of purpose, which is a 500 words. And this statement of purpose is very, very important in your application for PTDF scholarship. Please stick to the 500 words and also make sure that your SOP has covered these three important aspects that PTDF is looking for. First is the reason for your studies. You have to find a problem. What is it really that your studies can solve? Okay, you are going for master's, you're going for PhD. Okay, what is the implication of your studies to a particular oil and gas problem in Nigeria, right? It's a PTDF scholarship, so they are biased when it comes to oil and gas. So whatsoever you are doing, try to link it to oil and gas because they are PTDF, right? And you have to craft a genuine reason why you want to study, and then relevance to the oil and gas. That means what you are going to study has to be relevant. You have to give them reasons why what you want to study is relevant to oil and gas. Most people think it's just engineering, but I know some people who study economics, but they want PTDF scholarship. You just find a way to prove to them that, yes, this my study in one way or the other can help oil and gas industry. And also your study, what is the expected impact on national development? So you have to tie what you're going to study to the development that the study is going to bring, especially to Nigeria. These three key areas, make sure that in these 500 words, you have covered them thoroughly. And also, there's this, what I call document score boosters. PTDF is an all-round scholarship. Your statement of purpose is just one aspect of the criteria or one aspect of the grading when it comes to grading of the PTD of your application. So you have statement of purpose, and they grade you based on your documents as well. So your statement of purpose and your documents kind of asking me all the interview questions, give me flow to kind of defend my statement of purpose. After a wonderful presentation, they are now checking my documents. And one of the interviewer was like, do you have professional membership of any of your profession? I said, no. He now said, Ash. And I was like, oh, is that it? And when he said Ash, I know that I'm not gonna get it. And that was what happened. I was unable to get it at that time. The second time applying, of course, I know what to do, right? So I got professional membership. I got like 3 professional membership plus my O level, which is a bit good because I have some B's in it. And then my degree certificate. And I crafted a very strong SOP, and I was ready for them. And I applied, went for the interview. And after a successful interview, I felt it within me that at least in Adamawa State, I know that at least I will be among the top 6, because I think for masters, they shortlist 6 people in every state. You see, so the competition is fierce, and you are competing against the people in your own state, right? So if your state has 2,000 applications, at the end of the day, they're only gonna carry maybe 6 people or 5 people for masters, and I think 3 people for PhD. So you see, so the competition is very, very intense. But believe me, if you can have these points, it will really, really help your application. It's not really easy. And some people think PTDF has a Nigerian factor. Actually, I can't say no. I can't say no, but one thing I'm very, very sure of is that I don't know anybody, and I really got it. All I did was strategy. I look at it from the first experience. I gather all my documents together, make sure that all these things, that the document boosters, I make sure that I had enough, and I was ready to.
Try to summarize.
Yeah, okay. So, and I was ready to went for the second time, and I really got it. And lastly, the interview and performance, which comes interview performance, which comes much later when you're shortlisted for interview. So you see this three key aspects: your SOP, your documents your SOP has great, your document has great as well, and then your performance in the interview. So the addition of all these three gives you an edge in securing the PTDF scholarship. Finally, I told you that application for scholarship is very competitive. I warn you about the odds is very slim. But as Eleanor Roosevelt said, history belongs to those who believe in the power of their dreams. And therefore, I dare you to apply when others hesitate. Just outwork when others are procrastinating it, and refuse to quit when others disappear. And I believe Europe's gate is open for you if only you can be persistent. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I think they deserve a round of applause for both Apaji and Samuel. So I think well done, guys. You've covered everything. I think I don't think I have anything additional to say, unless maybe during the question section I can talk more on some things. So thank you so much. Now we can take questions. If you have any question, please raise your hand, and you will give you the mic and you can ask your question. Please ask question. This is the right time to ask question, please. And no stupid question, no dull question. Just ask your question. We're here to help you, and we're happy to answer your question
Where did
as
they raise hand though?
As we can. So please ask
My mic
question
is not on.
if you have any question,
Stupid
unmute
question.
yourself, or you can type in your question in the chat box. You can unmute yourself, type it in chat box, or you can raise your hand if you want us to give you the mic. So please.
Sorry, I want to raise my hand, but I can't find the hand button to raise.
Yes. You can ask your question.
Okay. Thank you very much for the opportunity to ask a question. The question I wanted to ask, the second presenter did mention something important that I wanted to get a little bit of clarification around professional membership. It seems to some of this scholarship, for you to have edge over others, sometimes might require you to have some professional membership. I want to understand what is the difference between professional membership and professional certificates. Then added to it, take for instance someone who wants to find scholarship around studying things related to data, maybe data science or AI related courses. What kind of certifications or what kind of professional membership would that person acquired to support their applications? Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you so much. I think that's That's a good question. But talking about certification, like and professional certification and membership, they are two different things entirely. So we are talking about professional membership here. For instance, I am a member of mathematics and its application. That's international. I don't know, for those that are in mathematics, I'm just giving an instance. So I am a member of mathematics and its application. That's IMA. We call it IMA. That's a shortcut. That's a membership. So while professional certificate, I think it allows you professional certification. It has to do it will have a lot to do with maybe getting a job, or maybe you uh going to the practical aspect of your field. But in terms of membership, like I've given you an example, membership professional membership has to do with a body. Is different from professional certification. Like myself, I belong to IMA. I also belong to British Liquid Crystal Society. I also belongs to uh, that's Nigerian Mathematical Society. I belong to Black African Mathematics Society. So I belong to 4 membership, and most of these members, I think some of them, I like one of them I joined it before my PhD, but most of them I joined them like when I was doing my PhD. So the thing is that, talking about like professional membership, like you mentioned, in terms of data science, to be sincere, your what do I want to say? Your the course you study. I cannot specifically, I don't know actually, I don't know which, in terms of like, if you want to go into data science, I know they have their own professional membership, but I don't know. I'm just giving you my own example. I also know like there are engineering society, those that are engineering, for those that, so it depends on the course you study. So you can go and search like professional bodies that your that is in line with your field, and try to apply and join. And to be sincere, if you are a student, it makes it easier, because for student, membership is usually free. Like all these bodies that I've mentioned, I joined them as as a PhD student, and they are all free. They are all free. I think it's when you want to renew it yearly, they will charge you some amount. Like Nigerian Mathematical Society, for instance, I pay like 5,000. Uh, uh, Society of Applied Mathematics and its application, I paid 10 pounds. So it depends on the professional body. There are some, as a student, it's almost free. To be sincere, it's almost free. So try to check some of this professional level that is in line. Don't Why I'm saying is it should be in line with your background, like undergraduate background. You cannot be, for instance, studying English and come and join mathematical, professional this thing, career in mathematics. You know that it won't work. So for data science, to be sincere, I can't think of anyone of any professional body. But for data science, I think there are many data scientists that are also members of Institute for Mathematics and its application. Yeah, that's that particular body. Yeah, I think, I don't know if I have answered your question, Mr. David.
Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thanks.
Yeah. So yeah, I think someone is raising his hand, Mr. James, Peter James. You are the one that I can see so far, so you can
Yeah.
ask your question.
Thank you very much, Sas, for this webinar. And I want to thank the two presenters. My question is directed to Sir Alfred G.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that detailed explanation. So I'm interested in applying for a PhD in the US, but in most of the sites I've searched, I find it difficult to find um, PhD topics that are or PhD opportunities that are open to the arts and humanities. So I want to ask you, sir, are there opportunities like that available? Because most of the PhD I'm seeing online are focused on the engineering and the science related. And then if there are, thank you for the website you've given to me. I'm going to do more research on that. if they are, how can we go about it in terms of research proposal and all that? I don't know if you can just throw more light in that area. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, the question is for you, and I can also shed more light on this, but Scholar Paji has to just mention some things.
Okay, thank you. That's a very good question. I think that a lot of people over the years have also raised that concern. To be honest, the funding for PhD is a little bit skewed towards the STEM, honestly. However, there are also a ton of opportunities in the science and humanities. Like I have a lot of people that have been funded to even do African studies PhD in the US. So yes, there are opportunities, but you have to look harder and you have to dig deeper. And the way to look is you can search findaphd.com. And hopefully I'll be able to share another site that is more US focused. I'm trying to think. I think I have it somewhere in my folder. I'm going to search that, and probably within the week, I'm going to send that link to the group so that you dig deeper. That link contains, I think, the list of all universities in the US and the courses that they do offer, whether it's fully funded or partially funded. So you have a lot of information in that. So yeah, it's true. While opportunities are scarce for social sciences and the humanities, opportunities do exist and they exist a lot. So another advice is for you to follow people on LinkedIn. I've seen a lot of people who do African studies, political science, international relations, PhD in the US on LinkedIn, and they have been vocal about encouraging people to apply for social science and humanities PhD because of this kind of complaints. So they do exist, but you have to search deeper and harder. And yeah, hopefully everything pans out well. So it's
All right, thank you.
to your second question about the research proposal.
The
Research
research proposal,
proposal
yes, sir.
is usually the same pattern with the generally is the same pattern with the STEM research proposal. So a research proposal is a research proposal. You're trying to pitch your idea that usually matches or aligns with the research focus of the professor, or what we call the PI, the principal investigator, that is also researching. So like what Dr. Ejuptul earlier said, you cannot do English and be pitching maths to a maths professor. It doesn't align. So when you are looking, and even in that, if he is a professor of political science, what niche is he actually researching in political science? Because political science is wide, African studies is wide. So you have to pitch that. So a research proposal is actually about what is the problem? What has been done to address the problem? Then what is the gap that you are trying to fill? Because for every problem that is solved, there's a problem that has been left unattended to, or that research has not been done enough in that place. So there's a problem. What has been done? What can we do to improve that situation? How can we do it? So you have an introduction, background to the study, methodology. How do you want to do the methodology? For some, they even include a literature review, right? That is where you make critical analysis and you make your what you call your arguments on, oh, this method has been used to do this. However, it is lacking in this. This method also is this, but it is not comprehensive. This is this. So you're making a case for why your own research proposal holds water. And at the end, it's either for a PhD, is you have to include creativity and innovation, meaning that something new has to come. It's either you are creating a new method, you are improving an existing method, or you are looking at a different perspective altogether. So, and it has to include expected outcomes. It's another important component. So, what do you expect? What are your deliverables across the 4 years, 5 years of the PhD? What can you do in the first year? What can you do in the second year, third year, leading to your doctoral thesis defense? And then you have to also create a Gantt chart of how this thing plays out. Remember, the rules of academic writing still applies. It has to be concise, it has to be clear, it has to be direct, it has to be short, and it has to be simple. Some schools will tell you they just want 1,000 words of research proposal. Some schools will tell you 1,500. But it has to be that short and clear. No verbosity, no too much adjectives, and no complicated language. Short sentences followed by long sentences. Those rules of academic writing. And please, you can use AI to brainstorm, but don't use AI to write your research proposal. Your research proposal should be your original ideas that you're trying to pitch. So I hope that I've answered your question. Thank you.
Yes.
So, James, I want to ask you a question. Do
Yes, sir.
you, with regard to US, do you contact professors or you find this opportunity on findaphd.com?
I have contacted some professors before, but some don't even get back to me. That's it. And then that's for the few courses I think I can apply. But it's very few. I hardly find any course, any proposal or professors that are doing something related to art and humanities. What I'm seeing most, yeah.
So what I advise here, I think number one, I think Apajas has talked a lot about how structure of your proposal should be. To be sincere, in most cases, even on findaphd.com, most like topic in humanitarian or social sciences, they will ask you to write the proposal based on that topic. Most of them. That has been my experience. So I think I even had someone like 2 years back, or is it last year, that he's here in the UK. He wanted to go to Canada, but he's in accounting. They had to ask him to write a proposal. And to be sincere, sometimes, in most cases, if you write a proposal yourself, you may end up not getting it. And that is why you see that in STEM, we have higher chances, and there are also a lot of opportunities. I can give you an example. There was a time I was applying for a scholarship in Ireland. That's Irish government scholarship. That was PhD. So what happened was that I contacted a professor, and she told me, to be sincere, she doesn't have a time to write a proposal. And if I'm the one that write the proposal, that they will reject it.
That's
yes. She now, I think she was the one that connected me to another scholarship in Ireland. She sent the link to me that since I'm interested in data science and mathematics, I should just apply for that particular scholarship. And then I applied and I got the scholarship. That's for PhD. So the thing is, writing proposal can be so difficult because some can tell you. I remember another scholarship in Ireland. They asked me for only 1 page like proposal. So I think I will try my best to liaise with other scholars to come up with a sample proposal for PhD, for those of you that are pursuing PhD.
Yes.
Is that okay?
It's very okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, we'll try our best to come up with that.
The webinar can be hold on that.
I'll try and have time and come up with that proposal because it can be very difficult, to be sincere. So, but what I will advise you to do is that please try and contact professors if in terms of US. And like I've said, don't put your eggs in one basket. Look for where you can actually get opportunities. There are a lot of fundings in UK that people doesn't know. At first, when I started my scholarship pursuit, to be sincere, I was also looking for US. But until when I discover like findaphd.com, and there are a lot of opportunities. If you go to findaphd.com, most of the opportunities are coming from UK. So that's not debatable. So thank you so much. I think, let me just read one question on this. Someone is asking a question that are there current opportunity open for application in the US now? Like Apaji said, this question is simple. Apaji have already said this when he was talking. This not a fair. If you want to apply for opportunities in US, especially starting August, all applications are closed. They are already shortlisting. So you have to wait until August to December or early January to apply if you're applying for August next year. So, but for spring, starting January, I think, I don't know if they are still open. Apaji, I don't know if application for schools in US are open for spring are open now. Just if it is yes or no, please answer it because we have a lot of questions.
We'll go to the field and play.
Well, it's a case by case basis. Depends on the school.
Movie.
So you can just send an email and say you're applying for spring.
Thank you. I will allow Kefas to ask his question before I will read another one. Then I will go back to Christopher. So Kefas, please, you can ask your
Okay.
question.
All right, thank you very much. I just want to use this medium to thank Dr. Joseph and Abaji for how they helped me. Last year, I was able to pull out a very competitive application. To the best of my knowledge, that
Yeah,
was the
try now.
best
Make it
application
funny.
I ever
Do
made.
do
And as a result,
Make it
I
funny.
even got
S-
three wait
I'm
lists. I
recording
mean,
it.
three school wait listed me.
Do now.
And then
Baby,
even up
please.
till now, I'm still waiting for decision from three schools. But going forward, my question is that I most of the schools I apply to, I
If you just
realized
talk
that
and people go
they
just
are
laugh.
waiving English
Do
proficiency
now.
for Nigerians and even GRE. That was why I
No,
even
no go
applied in the
laugh.
first place.
Just go inside.
But
Go
I
answer.
realized that now that the funding is very scarce and
Just
limited,
ask now. What you
you
want
you
ask?
now see that it's like those that have GRE and English
Go
test
now.
like
Then you now
IELTS or
ask a better
TOEFL,
question at the end.
they seems
Then you go
to
come tell you,
have
sorry. You know, say him.
an
I
edge
think
like
him brain
that,
they
an
touch sometimes.
advantage over us that doesn't. I mean, over us that don't have it at all. That's what I'm kind of thinking. So I want
And that's
maybe
unethical.
Dr. Abaji should just help me talk
Do you know
about
when I
it.
was telling
Does
manager there are some things you
having
shouldn't
an
use
GRE
when
or
doing your
English,
presentation?
TOEFL, and all of that,
Saying
does
that
it have
I know
an
some of you may
edge
not
like
know how
that?
to.
And because
That's
going
why they
forward,
are
I
here now. They
realized that
don't know how to. That's
if
why
I'm
they are
going to
here. So
apply
why would we
again,
still
then
say
I just
you
have
know they
to
don't know how to?
do
I told them don't
something
use
like that. Otherwise,
those
I don't
words.
know why I was not admitted. I'm just trying to see how I can make my application more competitive next time. So, is these exams
Go
are
and ask
they
question now. Stupid question.
advisable, and is there any advantage having them?
Please now.
Oh, so thank you. Victor, please mute yourself. Apaji will Victor try and mute yourself. I've seen your this thing. I'll read it after this question. So Apaji will answer your question. But what I would say is it actually counts. Sometimes most of the time, if I should advise you if you are going to US, especially, if you have not, if you are still in Nigeria, I will advise you to either write one of these exams. It gives you edge over other people that
Is that?
doesn't have them. But Apaji, can you please
Is
just
what?
answer him in simple terms?
Don't worry, I record it. We'll post it in data blaster.
Okay.
Thank God I even recorded it.
Victor, can you please
Hmm?
mute yourself? Yeah, you can continue, Apaji.
Okay. So
The moment
Dr.
I
Egypto is
enter,
right.
you
Like I
enter.
always
That's
say,
when I
if you
start.
have the opportunity to write one
Uh,
of these tests, especially whether it's GRE or
okay.
IELTS, if you can, especially if you are in Nigeria, if you have not left Nigeria before. So for some of us, you see, sometimes we tell you, oh, you can apply for,
Okay.
you can use your language from language, what do they call it? From your university and all these things. Mostly for us, we tell you we don't need it, don't worry about it because we have left Nigeria. So it's easier when you've left Nigeria for people to actually trust you because you've attended schools that are internationally recognized. Sorry to say. But if you have not, like Dr. Ejipto has said, the best thing is to try and write one of these exams to boost your profile because they are international exams and they have faith in their system. So if you can pass exams that is issued by their system, then they can be confident in your abilities and actually use you. So Kefas, keep working. A wet list is not the end of the game. Probably this year will be your year. I hope to celebrate your success.
Yeah, thank you, Apaji. So, like I've said, you see, that's just the truth. I know that these exams are expensive now, but those, it has to do with something that you want. It has to do with sacrifice. Please, if you have the means to write one of these exams, especially if you are in STEM, like write GRE, because GRE they also test your English, English competency in GRE, right? They also test your competency. So that is just it. Let me read one question before I'll go back. I'll ask, John can ask his question. Now, someone is asking a question that I graduated recently with CGPA of 3.87, which is in geology, which is 2-1. Do I stand a chance of winning a fully funded scholarship in US, other countries? Secondly, I really want to draft and strengthen my CV. And so it seems this person is a new person that is asking us. Yes, it's possible for you to get a scholarship fully funded in US and other countries? Is yes. The answer is yes. Now, on regarding joining our platform, what we do, like Apaji said at the beginning, we review SOP, we review your essay, we review your CV, we make sure it's professional, we make sure you can use them to scale through your application processes. So the answer is yes. I don't know if what is his name? I think PTDF is open. Please, if you have question on PTDF, ask Samuel. Samuel is like he's an expert in this because his presentation was very articulated. Ask him question now that you have the chance. So I will allow John to ask his question before I will go to Dr. Ama. So John, you can unmute yourself. Please ask your question.
All right, good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon,
my
sir.
name is
Yeah, go ahead.
My own concern is I have attempted so many when it comes to the SOP, sometimes I'll just black out on what to write. And you yourself, Dr. Ejepul, have always said that writing is a skill. So I want. Then the second one is the issue of the CV.
Yes.
It's always somehow confusing to me because I know how to write CVs for applications, an issue. And then the third one is that about this English proficiency, best recommended for us to write, because these exams, you see these other schools are, so I want to know which one is best. Then the fourth question is about, I study psychology.
Yes.
To either cybersecurity or data science. How possible is that? Thank you, and over.
So I'll answer some. Apaji will answer. I think Mr. Samuel, please, if you are here, you're going to talk to him. I would have talked about all of them. But regarding you switching from psychology to data science, it's possible, but it can be very tricky, and it can be because psychology is everywhere, data science is everywhere. I know of people you can marry this together, but it can be very, very difficult, to be sincere. It can be very difficult, especially if your undergraduate courses, if some of the courses that you've done in your undergraduate has nothing to do, you've never taken any courses that has to do with data science or cybersecurity, and like switching can be very difficult unless maybe you do something like some PhD program that in cybersecurity or data science that will give you an edge. But that, like switching from psychology to cybersecurity direct, it can be so difficult, to be sincere, in terms of getting scholarship, because I can imagine what are you going to write in your SOP that will convince them if you want to switch. What background will you have? Do you have, because in your SOP there are a lot of things. So in I just want to give Samuel to like answer your question regarding SOP. I would have talked about that, but we have a sample of, or rather the guardian to write an SOP and CV. We always post it on that platform. So I will allow Samuel to just say something about that. I wouldn't want to be answering all the questions myself.
Yeah, we already said it. Writing SOP is actually a skill, and it's not something that you just wake up one morning from, maybe give it 2 hours and then you're done. And that is why you also need mentorship, especially when writing SOP, and that's what basically we do in the group. So I think it will be nice if you can join the group. Whatsoever you've written, we do review SOP. I think my first SOP that I've written was reviewed by Dr. Egyptu. In fact, when he reviewed it, I had to send him mail. I said, wow, thank you so much, because it was very detailed. He took his time and followed the SOP line by line and make sure that he corrected and commented where necessary, where I need to improve and all of that. And that was it. So when he has given me the clue, I began to make research on my own, develop myself, and a little by little, I begin to grab the whole thing. So it's not something that and nobody is born with it. Actually, you can learn. It's a skill that you can learn, and sometimes some ideas will just come to you. Just like I said, when you're just in your shower, you just run, write it down. Later on, you can come and link them up and all of that. So it's a skill, but of course, you can learn.
Yeah, thank you so much for shedding more light on this. On CV, I have always told you, for all of us that are here, please, whether you are going to join Scholarship Dreamers later, or if you are not a member, maybe you want to do it on your own. One thing I will tell you is your CV should not be more than 2 pages. I don't know what, no matter how publication you have, if you have publication, I always tell you, like, put them, there are many, you can open an Oxid, maybe let me just type this. You can open an Oxid account, you can open ResearchGate, all this, you can open all this, put your, all your publications there, but your CV should not be more than 2 pages. Like, I don't know how to emphasize this, but it should not be more than 2 pages. And I think Apaji took his time to write the guideline. It was well structured. We do post it on our WhatsApp platform and also on Facebook. I do post them, especially if a new member join our platform. I do post these things. I don't know. It seems like some of us doesn't read it, but I don't see any reason why you want to join the platform if you don't read what is in the platform, because we don't post this in for ourselves. We post it for you guys. I think it's good for you to take your time and read those guidelines before you write your SOP and CV. Please take your time. I knew it took me like a week before I came up with that document. The same thing with Apaji took his time. So please, I am begging you to take your time to read like the guideline on CV and also writing SOP. They are very important, because it's not something we can be explaining for you one after the other in a webinar. No, we cannot do that. It's a process. And another thing I want to say is that, please, if you use AI to write your SOP, don't send it to me, because I have emphasized this. If you send it to me, I will not check it. Use your brain. Sit down, craft it yourself. Writing is a skill. Like what these guys, Samuel and Apache say, is a skill. And by the time you keep writing, you will learn. So please write it yourself. Because once you send it to me, if I use an AI checker, I check it with it, and I discover that your SOP is like maybe 20% AI generated, I will not check it. 20% and above, I will not check it, and I will not do it again. Please, I'm emphasizing this because AI will only give you rubbish, and it can never streamline it, or it can never bring it down to what you want, to your experience. SOP is a skill that you need to learn it on your own. So that's one thing I actually want to emphasize. Please. Doctor, I think somebody is saying something, or he has, I don't know. Somebody has sent a direct message and I can't read it. No, there's no any other question. So I think I will allow Dr. Ama to ask his question if he has a question.
Okay, thank you very much to our host. You've taken your time to really dish out so many important points. Please, I will just plead that, when you're still in Nigeria, you're still eager to get applications submitted, to get accepted and all of that. So thank you for your understanding. My question was going to be about the WhatsApp group. Apaji posted it earlier. It wasn't admitting members, but finally I was able to get through. So my other question will be about sponsorship. I've tried applying. I've been applying to schools in the US. I know about SOFAS for public health, people seeking to study public health. But I just have a question. In the case of you having been admitted to a school, but then let's say for masters, but then you don't have full funding, are there agencies like full funding? You have a percentage of scholarship, but it's not full. Are there agencies or individuals who are willing to sponsor you, through your studies?
Yeah, so thank you so much for this question. What I'll tell you is, There are, but it's difficult to get. So the best thing to do is look for scholar. If you apply, for instance, admission in a particular school, they have given you admission and they have given you partial funding. Within the school, they also have scholarships, just like what Apache said right from the beginning. So some school, like, they have a lot of scholarship. Like in my in my universities at the moment, if you go to University of Glasgow, there are a lot of internal scholarship that if you don't know about them, like, you think it's only you can only get your funding externally, but schools have internal funding. So one thing I'll tell you is, if you apply for a school and they give you partial funding, one, like, I think somebody reached me with this last 2 weeks. He got admission in the US, so they give him partial funding, and he was asking how will he raise the other part of the distance. And I'll say, okay, first thing I would advise is write an email to the admission team asking them if there are internal funding. Write an email. When I mean email, it's not the kind of email we are writing. Please write constructive email, convince them, that tell them about your background, that you don't have the money to complete it. I have done that, and I think at some point there was when I was looking for masters, there was a school that actually wanted to give me, like, cover all my tuition fee. So what I will advise you is that send an email to that particular school, ask the admission team if they have internal funding, and also do your search in the school if they have internal funding that you are eligible to apply, because some funding, most internal funding is country specific. Sometimes they can tell you it's only for Africans or Asian, or only for Indian, or only for, like, they will streamline the funding. So one thing I will advise you is, and another thing is, the best thing that you could do for yourself, if you know you don't have the funding, why don't you just go for fully funded before you apply? Every scholarship they have their requirement and eligibility criteria. So first of all, before you apply, check, is this scholarship fully funded? Do they cover your tuition fee? Do they give stipend? Or they only give like 5,000 and what have you? You already you know your strength financially. If you know that you cannot cover for the you don't have money to to fund yourself, or maybe to cover for part of your tuition fee, just go for fully funded scholarship. There are many of them. Go for them. I think that's the best thing to do. Go for fully funded scholarship. The ones that you know, yes, if you put in your best, you can secure them. So that's my advice on that. But if you know that, yes, you can self-fund yourself, or maybe you can argument, then you can go for ones that can pay like scholarship, like only tuition fee for you. For instance, there's African Excellence Scholarship in University of Glasgow. But to be sincere, that scholarship, they only give it to first-class students. Pure. They don't even give it to poor one. You must be first class, because it's an automatic scholarship. I know, I think Ijabla got that scholarship. There are some African guys that do get it. So, but it's specifically for first class students. So that's just so I don't know if I have answered your question, but I think that's what I have to say regarding you applying for a particular university, and at the end maybe they don't have funding. So the best thing, just go for scholarship direct if you know that you don't have the funding, than applying for admission and maybe thinking of applying for scholarship from external funding. It's like you are doing like different things at the same time.
Right, thank you for
yes. So I don't know if I have answered your question. If you join our platform, if your problem is those fully funded scholarship, we always post them as time goes on. Once they are open, we post them. And like I've said, what we do is basically clear. We do post it on the platform. Once you join, we'll tell you what we do on the platform. Another thing, please, like in terms of writing SOP, maybe it's very possible you've been applying for that scholarship, you've not been getting, because you mentioned that you've applied and you don't get funding. Writing SOP, like these other two scholars said, it has nothing to do with how intelligent you are. Please, you don't write a document and keep it yourself and think that what you've written is correct. No. If you don't want to, I don't know, sometimes what is our problem? Maybe it's, ego is intrinsic. I don't, ego is something that do kill most of us. But why don't you even send it to somebody that's not even close to you? So don't write an SOP and keep it yourself and think that what you've written is correct. No. It has nothing. Writing SOP has nothing to do with whether, if you finish with 5.00, it has nothing to do with how intelligent you are. I finished with first class, but the first time, I think a PhD student in Ireland reviewed my SOP. I am telling you, I felt very bad, but then that was the beginning of my success in pursuing scholarship. That was the beginning, because it got to a point that I always say this thing. It got to a point that it was professors that was reviewing my SOP. Don't write a document and keep it to yourself and say, I believe that what you've written is correct or it has no error. No. So that's one advice I will give everyone here. Everyone, please, if you can't send it to us, get another person. We are not begging or we are not forcing anybody to send document to us because we are even busy. So, but send it to someone. At least, be it your friend or colleague, let them check it for you and make sure that, yes, what you are sending is correct. Then you can apply. So that's one thing I really want to emphasize on this, because somebody will tell you, I've been applying, I don't get result. Are you applying in the right way? Apaji always say, follow who know road. Just do the right thing and you get result. There's no way you cannot be, you are traveling to maybe to Lagos and you want to follow through Kaduna and what have you. It's not possible. So that's one of my advice to all of us here, please. If you apply for scholarship, write a document. And if you are contacting any one of us, I also want to clarify something. If you are sending a document, be it to me or anybody, not even regarding to this, please, emailing is very important. You cannot, for instance, you don't know me. Most of you in this platform, we've never met. So, and you are sending me a document and you just only attach the document without writing anything, without saying, title is not my problem. You can say, dear Egypt, address me with my name. Hi, Egypt, please find attached. As simple as that, 2 or 3 sentences. You can't just come and be sending, you've never met the person, like you are just sending a document to somebody direct without writing anything. And you are expecting the person to respond to you. Please, respect is very important. Try to respect, let's respect one another. If you are reaching out to me with your CV or any document you want me to check for you, I always oblige to do that. Another thing is that, please, if I know most of you have my WhatsApp number. If you send me an email, don't come to me and start reminding me on WhatsApp that you send me an email. I am this kind of person that I always check my email, and if I see your email, I will always reply. So please don't send me an email and still go back to WhatsApp and tell me that, please, I have sent you a document. No, I don't want it. Let me be specific. Let me be clear. I'll always reply your email. I will always reply your email. Like I said, I always reply. And I also, the same thing. These guys, they also have their academies. They are busy. Send them document. Just introduce yourself. For instance, if you never send a document to me, I am so patient. I'm from Scholarship Dreamer. Once I see Scholarship Dreamer, I will always attend to you. So please, I'm begging each and every one of us to always adhere to this. Whether you are sending it to me or another person outside the Scholarship Dreamer, learn how to write email. It's very important, because by the time you leave, you come overseas, most of the things you are going to be doing, submitting assignment, is via email. Sometimes, to be sincere, writing an email can be so, it can take time. There are times if I'll write an email overnight and leave it. It's in the morning I'll send it to my supervisor, because I don't want to offend them in any way. So let's learn how to write email. It's very, very important. I'm emphasizing on this because, I will add people on this platform. The next thing you will do, they will just send me a document without any write-up. They will just send single document, and they think it can be crazy. So please, I'm begging each and every one of us. We are here to help each other, but also help yourself, because this is something you are learning. You are learning. Writing an email is also a skill. I remember one of my colleagues was asking me, Oluwayomi was asking me, how do I used to write an email to professor and they will respond to me? Because it got to a point they were reviewing my document because of the kind of email I was sending to them. So please learn how to write an email. That's one thing I will advise each and every one of us. Learn how to write an email. So that's what I have to say. I don't know if anybody has another question, and I don't know if I have answered your question, Dr. Amma. So, but basically, that's what I have to tell you.
Yes, you have. Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
So,
Thank you very much.
please, any other question? Question if you have. Before we call it a day, if you
Please,
have question, ask. Yes.
Can Alfred help send us his slide, the one he presented? I attended late, so I wasn't able to benefit from it.
You know, basically what Alfred posted, to be sincere, we do post it on the platform. I don't think it's necessary because like writing SOP, writing CV, like the PTDF, like even the PTDF tips on the platform, he was the one that I asked him to draft it, and I think he posted it. So when you join, once we added it to the platform, or if you must have already joined, I will post all those things again. My own is let's try and read it, because I discover that, like, oftentimes I discover that people doesn't read it, because if why I get to know that people don't read it is the kind of SOP I do receive. If once I see your SOP, I will know that you don't read the document we do send on the platform. I will know, because there are guidelines on how to write SOP and CV. Even CV, the same thing. So, and before I would tell you to send your CV and SOP to me, most cases I used to send those guidelines for you. And sometimes some people will see, you see some people, they will still send their CV 3 pages, 4 pages for me. And in the guideline, it's clearly stated that your CV should not be more than 2 pages, which means that you didn't write it, you didn't read the document. And we took our time to write these things. So I don't know why we don't want to read it. Please read what we are posting. They are very, very relevant. For instance, let me give you another example. You see somebody who write an SOP and exclude a part where he's supposed to mention something that has to do with the scholarship or the university he's applying. And in the guideline, it's clearly stated there, talk about the university you are applying. So these are some of the ways I used to know that, yes, we don't read this thing. We don't read what we are posting on the platform. Like we've said, this is your journey. Our own is just to help you. Apaji doesn't give scholarship. Samuel doesn't give scholarship. Solomon, who is not here, doesn't give scholarship. I don't give scholarship. Our own is just to guide you. So your success solely depend on you. Solely depend on you following what we are telling you to do. Then you'll be successful. But don't think we do give scholarship, and don't think that if you don't get like maybe it's our fault. No, our own is just to guide you. And that is why it's very important to just follow what we are asking you to do. Please. I don't know if Samuel, Apaji, if they have anything, any other thing to add.
Yeah, I think basically you've said everything that needs to be said. Like I tell people, just you have to follow who know road, like in the local parlance. There are people that have gone through the journey that you want to embark on right now. It's so easy that there are templates and there are a lot of footprints to follow. And and when you're following those footprints, it's not enough to just do exactly what they did. It's an avenue for you to improve upon what they did. Because one important thing in this journey is that your success will depend upon the pool of people applying within that cycle. So the aces that got me my scholarship may not necessarily win you a scholarship if you use exact thing today, because the competition has gotten more stiffer. So you have to kind of get the sample. Even when we share these samples, do not copy the samples. That will be plagiarism, and they take plagiarism seriously here. Like you cannot just copy and paste and just submit. No, you're going to be flagged. Do not use AI. AI, the reason why we discourage people from using AI is because you have to understand the basics before you even improve it. So most of us do not get the basics. We just want AI to do everything. And AI sometimes hallucinates. So sometimes it gives us rubbish and we just take it along. No. But AI is there to improve you. is there to improve you once you already know. So for now, we always advise people, use your head, write your story. Look, another thing is that your English does not need to be perfect. No, it just needs to make sense. That's why we always advise people, use simple, basic English that a 12-year-old, 15-year-old can understand. No, not speaking a lot of big grammars and all these things. Oyibo know they use grammar. So use the basic, simple English, and it's going to fly. So follow who know road, improve on that road, and hopefully the odds will align and you're going to be successful. And like my brother Johanna has said, in this journey, it's just like Bet Niger. Your ticket go cut. Dole, you will get rejection. There is no way on earth. A personal story is that when I started in 2022, I applied to 7 Commonwealth shared scholarships. 7. And I got rejected for all 7. I was only waitlisted for 1. And that one, when I read it now, I just laugh. I'm like Johanna said, if I was the panel for selection, I wouldn't even select myself. But when I joined Egyptil and we began talking and he reviewed my essay, he told me point blank that I'm going to review your essay. You write very well. I'm going to review your essay, but don't be angry. And I was like, you're helping me. How will I be angry? When his criticisms came and I realized the basic mistakes I was making, I'm like, what was I been doing? So sad thing is that they don't teach us these things in school. So you have to learn how to write. And writing is a skill that can be learned. So you need to learn. Forget your grades, first class, 0 class. You have to learn. Once you learn and get the basics, then it's done. And I think that we are also going to post another I think if I get the permission of Egyptil, we're going to post another email etiquette, because it seems that a lot of people are not getting it right. When we say learn how to write email, learn how to write email, we're going to share a sample. Our fear usually with sharing sample is that people just copy verbatim. No, we don't want you to do exactly what we're doing. We don't want to stifle your creativity, right? So you have to draft and then we review. But sometimes we share the samples because we understand that sometimes you have to look at the samples and then kind of get inspiration. So please, there are certain things you need to avoid. Your English don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have it all spelled out. Just write from your heart. Make it simple, make it understandable, make it direct, follow the rules, and the odds will align. This is what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Apaji. You know, it has to do with cohesion. Like writing, it does what you're writing, does it capture your experience? Does it capture it must be your story. You cannot use my story or Apaji's story. For instance, why I even refuse sending SOP to people, to be sincere. Like there was a time I sent an SOP for someone, and like it's funny enough, the person like plagiarized my SOP, and I was trying to correct the person was speaking an offense. So that was the reason why I basically stopped sending a sample for people. I don't send sample of SOP, but CV I can send CV. But sample of SOP, I refuse sending it. Earlier, I think when we first started this, platform, I was sending it, but I discovered that people would plagiarize, and if you try to pinpoint it out for them, they will pick offense, and they will start thinking you are looking down on them and what have you. So to avoid all those things, I will tell you to write it yourself, and I will review it. So Blessing want to, I think, sorry, Your Honor, Blessing want to mention, I think, advise someone on transcript, how to get your transcript. Before we pass the mic to you, Blessing, please just give us 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then Your Honor will say something and we conclude.
Hello, thank you,
Let,
Egypt, too,
let
for
me recall
giving me that
Johanna.
opportunity. I wanted to I wanted to advise someone that was considering transiting into cyber security, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's very much possible for you to transit. That's why you have to be very strategic when you're applying. You should know exactly what you want and then how to go about it. So far as you have work experience that align to the field you're transiting into, it's very possible. I will recommend my scholarship to you. That is a Island Fellows program. I don't know whether you're still online and listening to me. Like it's more of your work experience. So it looks at where you're working and then it gives you more knowledge and develop you. So these are the kind of scholarship I think you should. There are many Irish. There are many scholarships here being sponsored by the Irish government that they basically rely on your work experience, not necessarily what you studied at your undergrad. And I also want to recommend Apogee, uh, and then is it Joseph, the other speaker? Sorry, I
Hello.
don't know his name. For a work well done. I want to really emphasize on this use of AI because there are many people who reach out to me asking me to help them develop SOP for them. I would say SOP is your story, and there is nobody that can write your story the way you should. You know exactly what you studied. In fact, there must be an experience that motivated you to pursue that dream. So it's the ability to put that your experience, that your motivation down. This is it. I was motivated by this, growing up in this, I encountered this, and then it's like I had passion for this. I really want to. You package yourself. I don't know exactly what you've been through. I don't know what you study. It's not possible for me or AI to write your story for you. I know writing is a skill which can be developed. So if you can sit down, this is what I want. It's like selling yourself. You're in the market, you're advertising, you're calling people to come and buy your product. So you have to package yourself, you have to write down, sell yourself. If you finish writing, just read it to yourself and ask yourself, if I should be among the panel, will I award this person? So when you look at it that side, I think it's going to motivate you on how to write. And I equally want to emphasize on being polite with our approach. I want to share my experience. I think being polite most of the times really help because when I was applying for my scholarship, there are some instances where I do not meet up the deadline. But sometimes I take down I take time to sit down, write something, and send it to. I don't know this board. I don't know the people in charge of the scholarship. But then I will take my time once I see the message, even though it's late. I will take my time, message these people, giving them reasons why I was unable to do that. There was this incident that happened because I went to the village I was working, and they reached out to me. There was something in my application that needed to be done, and they emailed it to me, and I didn't see that email. So when I got back, I saw the email, and then I saw a missed call. It was a number. Then I just, okay, let me call back this number. I called it back. Fortunately for me, it was one of those involved in selecting people that called me and was like, they sent me something like this, and then I couldn't apply. He was like guiding me, telling me things that he shouldn't have. In fact, he even told me that sorry, he had to do this. He had to go out of the office in order to contact me. Why? I felt maybe it was my ability, the way sometimes I present myself. Being polite really helps out. So when you're approaching, being polite, you can develop it even from sending your SOP to those that have volunteered to help you out. You can start developing like just be polite, and these people may even go out of their way, give you more time, and they help you go to, in fact they may even help you edit, write it themselves for you. So I just want to emphasize on these 3 points. I hope it's going to help some of us out there that are pursuing masters. It will help you in your approach of applying scholarship. Thank you very much once again, Egypto, for the opportunity. I hope the person I was answering will have a knowledge and then, yeah.
Samuel, please try and just.
Yeah. I think most of the things have been said. The little I will add is, the reason why we're highlighting more on the SOP is because it's the only way the panel will get to know you better. Take it as a business proposal that you have. You are looking for a deal and you are trying to convince someone to kind of invest in the business. Now, the person doesn't know you personally. He doesn't know where you are. He knows that maybe you're in Nigeria, for example, and you are the one to convince him first, yes, there's a problem. And the only way to do that is to use statistics as well, which is very important. Maybe according to United Nations, you use statistics that, okay, if this one checks, you will see that, yeah, there's this problem in Nigeria. And you are trying to convince someone to understand that, yes, there's a problem and let him invest in your studies. So take it as a business proposal. If you're serious about it, you have to make sure that someone who doesn't know you kind of sell yourself out in a way that he will understand who you are and think that, yeah, you really deserve an opportunity to change a particular problem, probably in your country or in your community. And that is why we are highlighting this. And just like all the speakers have said, please don't keep your SOP to yourself. If you write it, get someone to, it's very, very important. Get someone to review it. That person, if he reviewed it, he will feel, whether this person have really hit the right spot for him to get a scholarship or not. And whenever you get a rejection, try to improve. Just go back, see what's wrong, try to improve it more. That's how you learn, and that's how you build up your writing skills every day. And for the PTDF, please apply. Please apply. When you apply for now, when they shortlist for interview, if you are in our group, when they shortlist for interview, do notify us that you have been shortlisted for interview, and we are going to come up with maybe a document that will help you ace your interview so that at least you have a chance of winning the scholarship. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We can even organize a mock interview.
Yeah.
Want.
Yeah,
you can organize it. So if you reach the interview stage,
yeah,
and you want a mock interview,
yeah,
I think we can also organize a mock interview, like 30 minutes interview for you.
Yeah.
I think which is plausible. So one thing I also emphasize, like, I will keep saying this, please, don't write a document and keep it to yourself. Send it out. I think, let me just give an insight. I will not mention him, but he's here. He's a friend of mine. He graduated first class in language and linguistics. So he was applying for scholarship last year. And, he sent his document to me. When he finished, by that, I'm not supposed to review a document to him because he studied language and linguistics, English. So I studied, my background is mathematics. But when he sent it, the document was well written, but spelling mistakes were many. So when I sent it back to him, he said, wow. He said, to be sincere, like, what I have been saying is true. The writing was very okay, was coherent, looking at his background, everything, but there were spelling mistakes, which I think is oversight. Maybe he's tired. Maybe he must have, closed from work and come home and start writing all those documents. You cannot write something and keep it to yourself and start thinking that, yes, what you've written is correct and is perfect. No. So please, I keep emphasizing on this. If you've been applying for scholarship, for instance, 2 years, maybe 1 year, you've never had any result, like no success story, I think something is wrong somewhere. And some of these things could be either you are writing your SOP and keep it to yourself, or there's something definitely you are not doing right, especially if you are not getting like to interview stage, or you apply and it's always rejection. Something must be wrong somewhere. Something must be wrong. I think that's what I will tell you, because in my experience, I have told you, I have applied for a lot of scholarships. I can't count them, to be sincere. So please, you should have this at the back of your mind. Always send your document out. We are here to help you, scholarship dreamers. If like any one of us, you can ask either Apaji, myself, Samuel, or Solomon Omorodion. He's not here. He's in Italy. So he can also help you. We can review your document. If you have a friend, you can send it to your friend. Please, that's one of the advice I will tell you. I think I will emphasize on here. I think, I don't know, David is raising his hand, but we must close this by 4. It's must. So if David has something to say, or if he has a question, I will just, yes, please, because we have to go now.
Yeah, I'll just be very brief. Thanks so much for the presentation, son. The question I want to ask, and I don't know if it has been talked, is around application fee. So
Yes.
most of this scholarship stuff, does it require application fee, or there are some cases that doesn't require application fee? That's my question.
Thank you so much. It's a very good question. I think last time it's a straightforward question, and it's a very good question. So, like we've always said, please, scholarship doesn't ask for application. In most cases, it's universities. University will ask you for application fee, admission fee. Universities do that. But scholarship, no. The only scholarship I know, PTDF, that's not even application fee. PTDF will ask you to verify your name. I think you have to pay 500 naira. I don't know how much it is now. But like PTDF, that one is not even an application fee for the scholarship. But the only thing you need to do for PTDF, I think, is to verify. You are the one to do that yourself. I think it has nothing to do with PTDF. You just need to verify whether your name is correct. And the last time I applied for PTDF was, I think I paid, that was 2019 or 2020, I paid 500 naira. So that is not an application fee. So I have never, in all my experience, I've never applied for scholarship that asks me to pay for application fee. Is that okay? But admission is, I think Apaji knows about that. Most schools in US will ask you for admission fee. Most schools in US will ask you for admission fee. But in UK, there are some schools, but not many. The same thing in Ireland. There are some schools in Ireland that will ask you. I think for what's the name of the university? Menot. I have a friend there, Oluwayomi. I think they asked me for admission fee when she was 50 euro. US is like that, but for scholarship, no. In fact, the one way you can identify that a scholarship is a scam is when they ask you for a fee. If you apply for a scholarship and it's fully funded and they start asking you for application fee, you should know that it's a red sign. It's a clear red sign. You must ask questions, or someone out there can scam you. I hope I have answered your question.
Yes, very clear. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it.
So that's all I think we have to say. So I would like to thank each and every one of us. If you are not on our platform, please reach out to any one of us that you know individually, either Samuel or me. We'll try to add you. So why sometimes we don't want to send a link for people. Some people can misuse it. That's why we don't want to send the link for you. So you can send your number to any one of us and we can add you. That's one. Like, and another thing, please try to check your WhatsApp setting, your privacy setting. Sometimes, I understand some people don't want someone to be adding them to a particular group randomly. That's why some people do change their setting. But if you send your number to us and you know someone cannot add you to a WhatsApp platform, please change your settings so that can add you to easily add you to the plan. Because like 2 days ago, they somebody that to me, I was her, and like it was her private setting couldn't allow me, and I was telling her that she should change her setting. She was asking me that how would she do it. Like I was like, in my mind I was saying, it's your fault and it's not my fault. Like you for your this thing WhatsApp setting must have been like that. You were the one that did it, and she was not asking me that how will she change it. So please try to change your setting before we can add you. Then if you like, you can change your privacy setting the way you want it, because I know it's individual. Even me, I wouldn't want somebody to be adding me to a particular group randomly. So, but change it so that we can add you, and then you can. Or another thing is, like I've said, we want to be confidential. We don't want people to be joining anyhow. That's why we don't send the link to you as an individual. So I think that's all I have to say. So I would really want to appreciate Apaji. I know he's very busy, very, very busy. The same thing with Samuel. So I really want to appreciate them for taking their time, to be sincere, because I understand how busy they are. So please, I want to thank each and every one of you for also taking your time to join. We are here to help you. If you have any question and you're on the platform, you can ask us question there, and we continue to help each and every one of us to see that we are successful. We want to hear more people that get scholarship. So thank you, and thank you all. So somebody sent his number. Please let me get your number, because if I end this Zoom call, I don't think I can access it. But let me just get your number so that I can add you to the platform. 7 1 3 1 9 6 9. So I have gotten your number. I don't know, Peter. Do you know any one of us, either Apaji, myself, or anybody, please?
Yes, Apaji has been
Then send your number to
forward.
Apaji. If you know any one of us, just send your number. I'll add you to the platform. There's no need, because I want to end the meeting, and once I end it, I cannot be able to get your numbers.
No problem. I'll send to you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, just send it to him, and we're going to add you. That's fine. But yeah, I think, but for is it Olua? I would just say Olua, but I don't want to. I think I've gotten your number. I'll add you to the platform. So thank you all, and we hope to hear more success coming from people that we've gotten international scholarship fully funded. That's what we want to hear, and that's why we're here for you. So thank you all for attending. Apaji, I cannot thank you enough. Samuel, I cannot thank you enough. Thank you.